You buy a $5 kitchen knife to save money, only to have the blade snap while you're cutting a carrot 3 months later. This forces you back to the store to buy another cheap replacement. By the end of the year, you have purchased 4 knives, spent $20, and wasted hours dealing with broken equipment. Despite this recurring drain on resources, we often applaud extreme cheapness. Society frames this behavior as the ultimate form of financial discipline or even a sign of moral humility. Buying tools guaranteed to fail represents a hidden form of financial sabotage. It uses the language of virtue to justify a cycle of lack, ensuring that you stay trapped in a constant loop of replacement. Frugality and stewardship operate on different internal logic. Frugality prioritizes a fear of spending, while true stewardship prioritizes a fear of waste. Over time, an ideology of scarcity has redefined our understanding of resources. It teaches people to view their provision as a fragile, finite supply that must be hoarded rather than a tool designed for a specific purpose. Moving past this trap requires a shift in calculation. We have to look beyond the initial price tag to determine the actual long-term utility of the things we buy. To see the actual math behind this behavior, we can look to Charlie Munger, one of the most disciplined financial minds of the modern era. Munger built his strategy on a mental model called inversion. Instead of asking how to succeed, he would ask how to guarantee failure, and then he would identify and avoid those specific paths with absolute precision. This chart applies inversion to consumer spending. You can see the $5 savings at the start, which is quickly wiped out by a $500 replacement curve that grows every time the cheap item breaks. Munger called this stupidity avoidance. He argued that accepting a minor short-term discount is a mistake if it mathematically guarantees a massive recurring long-term penalty. From a purely mathematical standpoint, buying things that are designed to fail represents a direct tax on your future wealth. Choosing the cheap option ensures a continuous drain on your capital. If the math of false savings is this destructive, why do millions of people still choose it? The answer isn't mathematical, it's psychological. Medieval theologian Thomas Aquinas argued that this behavior stems from a deep internal struggle with worth. Aquinas described an invisible cage where individuals don't feel deserving of quality. They mask this insecurity with religious humility, settling for the cheap because they don't feel worthy of the durable. His solution was a concept called the virtue of magnificence. He defined this virtue as the courage to undertake great things without being paralyzed by fear. The rule of magnificence requires matching the scale of an investment to the scale of its purpose. If the goal is significant, the resources used to reach it must be equally substantial. Aquinas viewed the refusal to invest in quality as a failure of virtue. He argued that choosing the cheap option out of fear betrays a fundamental lack of trust in the provision one has been given. Munger and Aquinas arrived at the same truth from different directions. Whether using a calculator or a theological framework, the conclusion remains: resource allocation must be measured by the durability of the result. King Solomon embodied this intersection. Known for both wealth and wisdom, he understood that stewarding resources meant ensuring they were positioned to last. We can call this the Solomon Standard. If an investment is built to last, serve a function, and multiply your output, the upfront cost is a secondary concern. The inverse is also true. Any purchase that breaks easily or drains your time is a form of theft from your own future. Building a legacy requires materials with structural integrity. As seen in the scale of the ancient temple complexes, enduring work demands an investment in permanence. Breaking a scarcity mindset requires shifting your focus from the immediate price to the long-term utility of your tools. It means making a conscious decision to value your own time and the quality of your work. True stewardship recognizes that high-quality resources act as a force multiplier for your goals. Stop repairing the cheap and treat your provision as a durable foundation for the work ahead.